Welcome to another episode of the Popko Project Podcast. Two very special guests today. Aaron Fink, former guitarist of Breaking Benjamin, current member of Earshot, has a fantastic solo career, and Baxter Teal of the band Deepfield. And we're here to talk about a new project, which is called We Are Not Alone. And we're going to get into that band and the meaning behind it and their show coming up on March 7th at the Front Street Station in Northumberland, Pennsylvania. But guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you
Thanks.
doing, man?
Thanks for having us.
I appreciate you
But
taking the time. And like I said before, Aaron and I go way back. Um,
way back.
way back. I mean, I remember following you before you even knew who I was. And I'm grateful for our friendship and continuing to let me in on all the cool things you're doing. So thank you for that.
So I'm always up to something, right?
Yeah, you don't stop.
I've been on here quite a few times. I don't know, what, two times at least?
Yeah, this is probably the third appearance. Yeah, at
Yeah,
least.
I'm always
Yeah,
up to something.
yeah,
And then when you worked at the Weekender back in the day,
yeah.
I had a couple covers on there and always doing something.
Yeah, I think you did what? Was it four solo records in 4 years or five in 5 years? You were just pumping them out.
Uh, I think I did 4 in 4 years.
Yeah.
I wanted to do 5 in 5 years, but it just didn't happen.
Something else probably popped up that you're
Yes, it's probably good there's some space in
yeah.
there.
And Baxter's really funny. When you guys announced this new project and the show, I was like, who's the front man for this band? Because in addition to Aaron, formerly of Breaking Benjamin, there are two other members as part of this project, also former members of Breaking Benjamin, Jeremy Hummel and Mark Klepaski. But I was like, who is going to be fronting this band? So I looked you up, and I saw you were in a band called Deepfield, and I went to search the music on Spotify, and I had already had a liked song from the band, and I was like, holy shit!
I hope I like it.
Uh, what the song?
Yeah,
I meant to write it down. Which one was one that I had saved? It came up on randomly, in the algorithm, I guess.
yeah,
I wish
man.
I could find out how long ago I saved this, but it was the song "Fall Apart."
Oh, yeah, nice. I
Yeah,
am proud of that one from the first record. Yep.
yeah, very good song, and
Thank
so
you.
I was like, "This is crazy. This is neat." So
And here he is.
here he is. I'm like, this is. But yeah, talk a little bit about this band. We Are Not Alone. I'm not going to try and like do it for you because you can do it better than me. But talk about kind of how it all came together, why it happened.
Right.
Obviously, at the show on the 7th of March, you're going to be performing the first two albums of Breaking Benjamin,
Yep.
Saturate and We Are Not Alone. This is a big deal for a lot of people who are, Aaron fans of yours and fans of Breaking Benjamin. And yeah, so please talk about this whole thing.
Yeah, right on. I mean, truth be told, the project came to me from a promoter in the central Pennsylvania area named Travis Fisher, and he called me up and was like, "Dude, I got this idea I want to run by you. Do you want to like do an almost, Breaking Benjamin reunion with the original guys and play, the old music that the hardcore fans that those are the albums that they really dig. Um, at least that's what a lot of the feedback that we get. And there's like a certain nostalgia attached to those first two records in Pennsylvania for sure, because the band was, blowing up and all those shows were packed and it was like a very exciting time. So I think um, the later albums maybe nationwide or even globally for that matter are those people are more familiar with those records, but they have less of like a nostalgia attached to them locally. So I think that'll be part of the beauty of the show is it is those two records. And then obviously we chose to do them because Jeremy was, you know, the OG drummer and played on those two records. So that was like, you know, Mark, Ben, Jeremy, and I were kind of the, you know, the group that made it big,
Launched, yeah.
right? So that's the deal. It's just as of now, it's just an event called We Are Not Alone. It's not necessarily our new band called
Okay.
We Are Not Alone. Um, so it, you know, it was built from the ground up as a one-time event. Um, there's been, you know, a lot of fanfare surrounding it so far and a lot of excitement, which is exciting for us. I'm sure it's exciting for Baxter to come into all that and kind of jump in the deep end with us. But you know, we're gonna see how March 7th goes. It's gonna go great, but we're gonna get through that, and then we're gonna see if the road takes us somewhere else. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, it's sold out fairly quickly, and anyone who
Yep.
has gotten this far into this podcast, it is sold out. But I'm going to have tickets available to win next week, the week of February.
Nice.
Oh gosh, 23rd on
Yeah.
Fuzz 96.1. So I've got your chance to win and get in. But yeah, I mean, the demand is obviously there. I mean, people were really
Yeah.
excited for this.
Yeah. I mean, I had a feeling it would do okay, but I mean, today's market is it's tough out there. I mean, I've been you know, as you said, putting out records and touring. I haven't taken a day off in ever. I mean, Christmas, but
Yeah,
I haven't taken any hiatuses or anything. I've been working steady Freddy, um, hell since the 90s.
yeah.
And the market, it's fucking tough out there, man. It's hard to get people to come out of their little, you know, snuggled in with their Netflix and scrolling through their phone. It's tough to get people to come out unless, you know, it's like the big production with the LED screens and pyro and shit. So it's like,
Well,
you
that
know,
and a name people know too. Like, and
yes.
I was actually talking to AJ Jump just last weekend, and we got into I won't say heated argument. It was a fun argument,
Yeah.
and he was the on the band Turnstile and how great they are, and I'm like, I agree with you, but I was like, there will never be another band like a Pearl Jam or a Foo Fighters, you know, that global name recognition. He goes, no, Turnstile, you wait and see. I'm like, dude, I would be surprised if in 10 years they're a band still. He goes, no way, you're crazy. I'm like, I'm going to put a 10-year reminder in my phone right now to see if they're a band in 10 years. I said, dude, I'll walk across the bar right now and I'll ask that group of 8 people who, see if anyone knows who Turnstile is versus anyone who knows who Pearl Jam is. I walk
Well,
over,
right, of
I
course.
walk, just to prove a point, I walk over, who here knows Turnstile? I think one person raised their hand. I said, who here knows Pearl Jam? Everyone's like, I said, yeah, they've been around for how many years, but like I just think those bands, U2, like they just had this huge long career. So people like to experience things that they are familiar with. And I think, you know, obviously Breaking Benjamin is a huge band. And yeah, so they hear this and they're like, wow, we can essentially get the full original band minus Ben.
Right.
But
Right. So our version is kind of the band version, and obviously Ben has carried on with the singer version. So
right.
now I'm not saying we're competing or like, you know, obviously we're not calling it Breaking Benjamin. We wouldn't do that, but it is funny because there's been other bands out there like Queensryche, for instance.
Mm.
There's like the band guys version, and then there's Jeff Tate's version, and
Hmm.
you know, there's been a lot of cases like that in the past, like Rat, Great White. I'm sure there's other examples, but
Yeah.
How about today's example of the band live from
I was
Pennsylvania?
yeah,
you stole that from, I was gonna say.
Ed has now been given the cease and desist.
Yeah.
which I think is great because he should still call it that and say, well, I pronounce it live. Like, it's not live.
You know, what is it with all these Pennsylvania rock bands? They
Right.
just can't get along. Like,
Yeah, Fuel.
Fuel's jacked up, we were jacked up, Live's jacked up. I don't know. There's something in the water here. None of us can get along, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, this is and then bringing Baxter in, for anyone who's not familiar with you, I would suggest going to YouTube and checking you out. You've done some recorded versions of some of the Ben songs, and I mean, it's not identical, obviously, but it's very well done. I mean, it's at the point where it's like a fresh version, so to speak, on it. It's great.
Yeah, I didn't want to come in and basically be a tribute act as far as like
Right.
emulating his voice to every nuance, and which is a very signature voice. It's hard to do to begin
Mhm.
with. And once I dove into the songs, it felt great. All the songs felt like right there. When I was touring, my last record was in C, which is what most of these songs are, drop C sharp. So it's very comfortable for me. And yeah, I just wanted to have my own approach to it. And Mark was very early, was like, yeah, do that. Don't try to sound like him, sound like yourself. So, thankful that those guys gave me the opportunity to, celebrate these songs with them. So,
And how did you come into the fold?
all right. So I toured a lot. Actually, when I was probably the pinnacle of my touring, Breaking Ben was arguably, I'd say, one of the biggest hard rock bands in the world. But we never toured with them. We toured with Shinedown and Chevelle, and Puddle of Mud was still pretty big then. The same label slash management roster, we would go out on the road with them. So I didn't have any interactions with them. But Aaron, last night I was rehearsing, and Mitch from Crossfade was there. And he told me he toured with you guys. I didn't know that, but he met Mark years ago, and I thought that was
Crossfade.
pretty cool. But yeah, Crossfade's from my hometown,
Yeah, we
Columbia.
did
Yeah,
those with them for sure.
yeah. He said it was way back in the polyamorous days. So
Who's they had the one cat in the band who also plays keyboards in other bands. Real good musician.
oh, Les Hall.
That's right.
He lives here. He's in my hometown. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
yeah.
great musician.
He's one of like Rick Beato's like main players, but yeah, he
Yeah.
can play everything. Yeah.
You know, it's funny too, is we had a popular song called So Cold, and they had a popular song called, I think it was called Cold.
Cold, yeah.
And they both came out, I had to say, almost at the exact same time. And they were both on the radio. So like people confused the
Right.
two bands and the two songs. And all the time people would come up to me and be like, "Oh, I love your song Cold." And you could probably ask them, says, the guys, I'm sure they got the same thing, vice versa,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Good problem to have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's it was about the same time. Yeah, right.
Right. It was like
04.
2004 or
Yeah.
something.
But to continue that, I got off on a tangent there. I had been done touring. I wouldn't say I called it a day with music, but I wasn't as active. I didn't really want to write. And then Spotify hit like around 2016, and we had this instant sort of fan base. Monthly subscriptions were over 100K, which is crazy to me because we had not toured as a band since 2009ish or 10ish. So people had still held on to the band and the songs, and I thought that was great. And it kind of told me, hey, get off your ass and start writing some music again. So I did that, wrote a record during COVID, like it's so cliche. Everybody did that. But I would argue that my writing now is better than it's ever been. I'm working on a new record. I'm hoping that these guys will be a part of it and collab on some stuff. But yeah, so we played a show a year and a half ago, 2 Novembers ago at an opera house near my hometown. And I didn't have a bass player, didn't have a touring band. I had a drummer, lives in Charleston. And I said, well, Mark and I have talked for years about doing something. I'll see if he's interested. So I texted him, I called him, instantly he's like, let's do it. We had talked about doing something together, and this is a perfect time to do it. So I brought him down. He did the show. We hung out for a week and loved the guy. So laid back, so humble, just an awesome guy. Very cool to hang out with. And he killed the show. And then about almost 5, 6 months ago now, he calls me up. I was in Chicago for the summer and says that we're doing the show and I think you should audition. And so I did. I sent in some tunes and then that video, and they liked it, and here we are. So yeah, really, really honored to be a part of this.
How many
Yeah.
people auditioned for this role?
I think 4.
Okay.
We didn't do like Star Search or anything, but
Why not?
we poked around a little
That'd be
bit.
fun.
We poked around. I think, like you guys were saying before, I mean, Baxter, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's going to approach this as himself, and he's already a known singer, but just singing the pre-existing songs. So we're not trying to do like a tribute band to ourselves. I think
Right.
that'd be a little silly. So like,
Be weird.
I think he'll just sing them in his own way. Obviously, we're going to stick to the script and with the same melodies but all that, but that people, are come to love with those old songs. But I don't think we're trying. I mean, the band will sound exactly the same because it's us. But
Yeah.
I would argue that the band will sound different, not only because of my voice, but now, as you know, Aaron has done so much on his own as a singer, and we're excited to have him do a ton of harmonies and like the callback stuff. He's going to be doing that. He didn't really do it a lot back in the day. So that's going to put a fresh take on all these songs too, which I'm really looking forward to.
yeah, for sure. And we're all just older and like wiser, better musicians, more seasoned. So and less drunk than we used to be. So it'll be good. It'll be better. It'll be great. It'll be awesome in its own way. That's what I predict.
Yeah.
You know.
It's hard to believe that was like 25 years ago when that hit.
Yeah.
Hard to believe. It really is.
Yeah.
I will never forget.
See all the gray in this beard? It proves it.
I held a door for a woman at a Sheets a couple weeks ago.
Sheets.
It's
I remember seeing those on the road. Yeah.
There's a big battle up here. Sheets versus Wawa. Wawa's been making some moves lately up here, but I held the door for her, and I was not expecting this, but she actually like grabbed my face, and she's like, "Oh, you're so kind, young man." I'm like, "Oh, I'm not that young." She goes, "Yeah, I can see the gray in your beard." She's like, "There's like wisdom hairs or some shit like that." I forget what she said exactly, but yeah.
Well, I
Wisdom
get
hairs.
everywhere I go now, I get sir, which I'm like, I don't know if I like that. I
Yeah,
get
well,
there's like respect built into that, but there's also like you're kind of old built into that. I don't know.
it's respect. It's a nice thing to say.
Right.
Yeah, but 25 years. I remember, I think you guys put out like a 5-song, like, I don't want to call it a demo. I don't know what we'd call it. I still have it somewhere.
They call it an EP.
EP. And I drove to probably 4 different gallery sounds to try and get it, try and find it. I did find it. I found it at the Dallas location.
Nice.
This is back when there was probably like almost 10 locations for gallery sound. Now there's 2.
Yeah, I
But-
remember those days. That was great.
Yeah, but I'll never forget Polyamorous when hitting the radio. What a time! And what was that like? You guys have both had success. I mean, we're talking 25 years ago. What is it like for you guys now versus back then? You kind of alluded to before. It's a different world, but back then there was radio and there was all these different avenues, and time was probably crazy, and it's so different now. as far as like everything. It's just
Yeah,
wild.
I don't know what it is anymore. It's a mess. And it's it, I'm sure it sucks for young artists, but for someone like me who came up in a totally different fashion, none of it really makes much sense to me, nor am I into it. So like, well, not to sound like an old curmudgeon, but like I see younger bands and the way they promote their music, which you're supposed to take seriously, is with a goofy ass video, and they're like trying to go viral with like just like dumb shit.
Hmm.
So, you know what I mean? So it's like all about like drawing people in with either like, an extreme look, the tattoos on the face, or like a crazy video, or I don't know. I understand it, but it's hard. I can't really play that game. I mean, I would look silly trying to do a viral video at this age. It's
Yeah.
so, you know what I mean? And everything's like a collab, and it's all like, I just, the marketing of it's weird. I came up in an era where it was just based on the music. Hell, Breaking Benjamin, we didn't even do like interviews. Like, you can't even, I can't even really, hardly any interviews are out there in any magazines back then. It was just based on the music and touring and on the radio. Now, obviously, we had Walt Disney Company behind us and threw a lot of dollars at it. Um, but so it was marketed heavily, trust me. But we also did the work and backed it up, and we're a great live band, but it's just a different way to approach everything with, and again too, like the results are limited to nothing. And so like even with my stuff now and all the bands I've been over the years, I work 10 times as harder with 10 times the less results. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
um so it's, and everybody and their brother has a band, and anybody can have a home studio and a guitar and upload their shit to Spotify. So you're just, as a consumer, you're just swimming in like 100,000 different bands. So you don't, if you don't know if you're coming or going. But so my son's an aspiring musician, and I don't quite know what to tell him. It's tough
Yeah.
out, you know.
Yeah, I feel like the streaming services and the digital age is like a double-edged sword because, going back to what I said before about finding that song from Deepfield, I probably never would have found that had it not come up randomly on the playlist or whatever you want to call it. So in that sense, it's pretty cool, right? But it's so oversaturated. I was just talking to, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Veer Union.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he just talked to Crispin last week or a week before that, and
Yeah, good band.
yeah, he was talking about how, because he had a lot of success early on, and Spotify kind of like launched him, and that band. He had bought his masters back from the record label and took a chance, and it kind of worked out for him as far as um, the streaming services are considered. But it's
My question, so Baxter, I have that question for you. So Spotify is interesting. I don't know if the consumer knows this, but you can't go in there and fiddle with it. It's just,
Cannot fake it. When my ex, I wouldn't say ex, he's still a friend of mine, former A&R guy that signed us, and we got signed, by the way. Who knows when this happened for the last time, but we sent in 3 songs demo to a company in New York. They liked it. They brought us up to New York. We showcased and got signed. Nobody does that anymore. Like,
no,
we got developed as a band. You can't do that anymore. You got to have so many Spotify's. But to that guy, when he calls me, he says, "Look, Spotify, you guys are crushing it, and you can't fake that. Like, you can't. There's no bots. Like, those are real organic people. So that's really awesome."
yeah, but you can't, but like social media, you can do your own thing. It's DIY. You can post a million times a day and try and garner fans. But in Spotify, it's just they have to flock to you.
Right.
There's nothing you can go in there and fiddle with it and do anything on your own. You can't promote within Spotify. So
Right.
it's I guess my question is, how did Deepfield get all those people to go to your Spotify?
We don't know. Like even that guy, because he knows the ins and outs of the record company.
Yeah.
Another guy, ironically, was on the same floor as Hollywood Records. Rob Gill's a great friend of mine. He was our product manager for the first record, and I remember seeing Hollywood in that on that floor. And I'm sure you know all those cats. But yeah, I mean, he even said like I had no idea how people flock to it. It just it exists, and I would roll with it. So I feel like we're doing better on that than probably Apple Music and stuff. I don't know why it's Spotify, but
Yeah.
who knows? I wish I could answer it. But
Just
the worst part is you can't go in and find that 100,000 monthly listeners and say, hey, we're playing a show. You can't do that on Spotify either. You can't promote it. Even find the fans and say, hey, we'll be in your neck of the woods.
You can list your shows, but yeah, you can't promote. There's nothing you can go. Again, I don't know if the consumer knows that. There's nothing you can do as an artist and go in there and tinker around. It's like it's a it's a non-interactive platform. There's nothing you do. All you do is upload, and then you hope. Now you can on your social media, you can say go to your Spotify, but it's a really shockingly non-interactive thing. It's weird.
Right.
Yeah, I would have to say that Spotify is the biggest player as far as streaming goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I'm from, Aaron, I don't know how old you are. I forget. You're not too much older than I am, but I mean, I mean, buying records and CDs, I mean, that was like a glorious time. I mean, I would walk into the record store, and if I heard the song playing over the speakers, I would go to the front desk and be like, "Who is this?"
Yeah.
I would walk in there with no goal in mind. I would just walk in and just flip through the CDs.
Yep.
I won't get into
No kid will ever smell and appreciate the smell of a compact disc when you open that thing up. That's whatever sort of, I can't even explain it, but that'll never happen again.
Yeah.
No, we sound like old men talking like this, but like it's
seasoned.
It's true. I mean, it's true. There was the ritual of opening the jewel case and putting the CD in the player,
liner notes, like
reading the liner notes and
the art
of seeing a picture of the band and who produces it. Like, does anyone even care who produces records anymore? I doubt it.
The special thanks in a CD. You had to do the special thanks, and you couldn't forget anybody.
Yeah,
was, stressful.
Mom and dad. But it's sad. It's like, I mean, nobody even cares who fucking plays on records anymore. No one cares where it was recorded. No one cares at all what record label you're on. It doesn't matter at all.
Is as an artist, is that kind of like frustrating? Like, I'm sure you don't care how people find your music because at the end of the day, they're listening to it. But as an artist who takes the time to create the music and, maybe number the album 1 through 10 and record it in a way that it flows a certain way, the artwork inside, all that kind of stuff. Like, is that frustrating for artists like you who've like been doing it for so long and have experienced that part of it?
I don't know if frustrating is the right word, I guess. I mean, I'm still gonna do it and try to do it well. I'm not gonna you still gotta shoot for the stars and hope there's some kind of trickle down effect.
Well, it frustrates me for what it's worth.
Like I said, I work 10 times harder with maybe more than 10 times less results, 100 times less the results.
Yeah.
But hey, look, overall, I've had a great career and I'm very thankful.
Yeah.
So I'm not the right messenger per se for this argument.
I would say, both of our careers, obviously, Aaron and Breaking Ben had way more success. But if it wasn't for record companies back in the day, nobody'd be paying attention to this podcast right now. Like, they did get us to a certain point, and we just have to carry the torch.
Yeah, it's not even like, it's just as artists, like creators. And I talk a lot about like, there's bands who, do a record and then their next record is different than the last one, and fans get all upset because it didn't sound like the last one. And it's like, how could you expect them to continue doing that? They're artists. They want to, challenge themselves and discover new sounds and different things. It's I don't know. It's just like uh, consumers are strange to a degree. And I'm not asking you to like talk shit on fans or consumers at all. It's just it's a different landscape. It just I mean, I see it and I'm not a musician, so it doesn't matter to me. But like I get frustrated in that I came up like that, and generations before me obviously had actual vinyl and cassettes and things like that. It's just that you guys put this time and effort and thought behind all that. And now it's like, you know, bands and musicians put out songs and it's like they listen to it and it's on to the next. Like, what's next? What's next? What's next? Because there's so much out there.
Right. It's digest. It's just goes in and goes out. It's like no.
So you guys came in at a good time.
I
Yeah.
mean, to your point, I think this bands like Creed and there's a lot of bands that were huge in the 2000s. They're starting to come back doing cruises and now mega
Yeah.
tours. So people are interested in it, which is great. So
I never understood why people hated Creed and Nickelback. I've I got made fun of for years about.
Well, I think they're bands that everyone secretly likes, but
Oh yeah,
it's cooler to say you don't like.
right.
Stick with Bon Jovi, like everyone likes Bon Jovi. Come
Yeah,
on
yeah. I
now. You're a
agree.
commie if you don't like Bon Jovi.
How could you
God.
not? I remember being at the skating rink listening to Bon Jovi, thinking that was
Nice.
cool as shit,
Nice.
trying to skate backwards, falling on my ass. But back to the show that you guys are doing. You know, you mentioned how cool is it that you know Baxter? I'm gonna leave you out of this one, but Aaron, you, Mark, and Jeremy are able to stay friends after all these years and kind of come together and do something like this.
Yeah. Yeah. We're and we talked amongst ourselves like it's good to do this. We're all still healthy and able-bodied. And, like I said before, I think we're actually better and more seasoned musician. But yeah, Mark has lived in the Wilkes-Barre Scranton area with me over the years. So we saw each other a lot and stayed in touch. And then Jeremy lives about an hour and a half away. So I don't see him as much, but we stayed in touch. Obviously there was a rough patch there. A lot of shit went down, and but time heals. We were all the three of us were all very close way back in the day. So um, close enough that whatever BS happened, eh, you know, um, time did away with it because the initial friendship was always there. So um, and we're far enough removed from it where the songs are, like I've been rehearsing the songs to try and, get back in the groove for March 7th, but like just playing it didn't like dredge up any bad feelings. It was like almost just like a place of pure love, and I'm excited to play the show. Like, I think it'll be a good vibe that night too. I don't think there'll be any negativity at all, honestly.
No,
It'll be diehard fans that know all the deep cuts, and um, it'll just be great. And like Baxter's gonna bring a whole new element and energy to it that um, so it'll be really interesting. And I think we're doing it for the right reasons too. Like we're not um, it's not like, oh shit, like I don't know what the other reasons would be, like someone's like hard up for money. So
yeah,
let's
it's not a
just
money grab. It's
throw
just
together this piece of shit. And like if we were like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it at a very high level. We're not just gonna like throw together a trash version of like and fumble through the songs. Like we want to do it right and respect the legacy and respect our own legacies, as musicians and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Do you think there will ever be like a band documentary of Breaking Benjamin from its inception to where it is today, and we'll kind of get a tell all? Because obviously, I'm not asking you
Like
to
a
tell.
behind the music.
Yeah, or just like obviously, I'm not. There's a history, right? Through the 20 some year span of Breaking Benjamin. I'm not asking you to divulge any information, but I think there obviously people speculate and this, that, the other thing. But do you think anyone will ever hear the story about the ups and the downs, old and new, and all that kind of stuff?
Um,
If someone came to you and said, "Hey, we're going to do this," would you be interested in being part of it? Would you do it?
uh, like a behind the music.
Yeah, I guess you can call it that. Just a
I think if Ben did it too, I
yeah,
would. I, um, that's an interesting question. I mean, I've done plenty of interviews over the years, but I haven't really ever said my side of the
right,
story. There
right.
is a lot of stuff, unknown stuff out there, but I'm not really. I don't really like to make a big stink about stuff in public.
I understand.
I'm not really. I don't know. Uh, that's a tough question. Yeah. See, I already suck at giving the answers when I'm put on the spot about this stuff.
Well, it's tough.
Uh,
I mean, it wasn't an easy thing to go through, obviously, right? And there's a reason why
yeah,
like
no,
no one's
no,
talking about it, but
no. There was a lot of stuff that happened that sucked, but
yeah,
I mean, I tried to move on musically and do a lot of different other stuff and not just be the guy that used to be in that band. So, um, and he's moved on and he kept the band name and has his new lineup and they make records and stuff and they're quite successful still. Um, and more power to him. I'm not, you know, it keeps the old catalog alive. So I think it's a good thing.
yeah,
And I think if a lot of bands, the whole thing goes down all at once, right? And then it's no more. And then the brand name goes down and the catalog goes down. But I think generally speaking, I'm glad that the band continues on and has the continued success. And it honestly allows us to do something like March 7th.
yeah.
Um, because there's still a, a continued interest in this band over the years. That's been surprising to me
Really?
because, yeah, I mean, a lot of bands come and go. And, I mean, I still hear the songs on the radio. It's almost like classic rock at this point.
It is
you
on
know?
Rock 107, which is a classic rock station.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I mean, I think if you could have got, to answer your question, I'm beating around the bush. You could have got me to dig up the dirt way easier 15 years ago.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like water under the bridge at this point, and I don't want to be dragged down in the mud, but like
Yeah,
it's
it's like
possible. It's
yeah,
possible, but I don't.
yeah, it's like that girlfriend in high school that like crushed you, and then you move on and find another girl, get married, have kids. It's just like it's yeah, whatever. Nothing matters. Not to the same
Next
extent.
question, John. Let's go, bud.
Well, Baxter, I feel like you've been very quiet, and I don't want to, you to have taken the time to join us tonight and not kind of chime in. So I kind of wanted to get like just a little bit about your background and um, what it means to you to be part of this kind of legacy event almost.
I won't be quiet March 7th.
All
So
right.
yeah, so I around these guys' age, I starting way back. This is nuts. I played in a band in Charleston. I was a bass player, did not sing. We were on a radio station that was pretty powerful in the Southeast, and it got into power rotation. Next thing you know, the labels started calling, got wine and dine, showcased. Nothing ever happened. I sort of got signed as an artist and was told to put a band together, which I did. We took like 2 years to develop the band, go through a short list of producers. Ended up working with Paul Ebersold and Skid Mills. They had freshly done the Three Doors Down record, which was huge at the time. So they were based out of Memphis, and our label felt like, bringing a little of that Southern rock in there would be good for the band. And it was. It was a great experience. I went on to do another record with Skid in Nashville independently. And since then, I went and did an acoustic EP with them again, right around COVID. And then the current record I am doing for the first time in South Carolina. It's about 4 miles from my house where this producer lives. We hit it off about 2 years ago. I was auditioning for another band from Pennsylvania, but I'm going to leave it private. But we did that. We felt great about it. Obviously, that didn't happen. And I had strangely enough, I have a couple songs that are very dear to me, almost in a sacred kind of way. When I wrote them, I'm like, these are the most special songs I've ever written. And I couldn't think of what producer I'd want to try to tackle those. And it took a couple years before I even was willing to let people hear demo versions of it. And I let this guy hear it, and he was like, I know exactly what you want with us. And I took a shot, and we went in there, and it sounds amazing. Those two songs are done. And we're going to continue to do the record. I kind of put it on pause when this all happened. But yeah, like I said, I feel like I'm writing the best stuff of my life too. And it's just really cool how this all came together, and it wouldn't have happened had I not called Mark and said, hey, come play bass at this show 2 years ago. So I'm super glad he answered the phone, and that I'm here talking to you now.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff on YouTube is awesome. I mean, I absolutely love it. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge Breaking Benjamin fan, but just your take on it. Again, it's not like you're trying to mimic Ben or anything like that. It's definitely like you, and I think people are really going to appreciate that, especially backed up, by Aaron, Jeremy, and Mark.
Right. And those two videos were shot at that studio. The guy's name's Corey Plow. He's a local guy in Columbia, but he's had some Grammy nominated records come out of that studio. And seeing what he's done, the career he's had with no Nashville push or LA or Chicago, the dude is just really, really good. He's as good as anybody I've ever worked with. So wanted to give him a quick shout out. But yeah, those two videos for the Breaking Ben songs were shot there. And yeah, I'm just really excited it's cool. It's cool playing hits, it's cool, like knowing you're going to step on stage and you're going to have a crowd screaming those lyrics back at you. That's just a super cool feeling. And, I feel very lucky to be able to do that. So.
Is there a favorite song of yours out of those two albums? Whether it's to perform or just, musically?
No, I think there's I didn't know Simple Design that well, but once I dove into like learning it, I'm like, man, that's really, really awesome song. Natural Life, we have all talked about that being one of the favorites to play. Those guys told me back in the day it was one of their favorite songs to play live. Yeah. Phase is so cool. But yeah, we're I don't want to say too much of the set list, but I wouldn't say I have a favorite song per se, but that's just a testament to how good all the songs are. So.
Were there any challenges for you when you kind of got into this?
No, there's a couple bridge parts, Natural Life, maybe Phase. There's a couple parts where it's hard to sing and play, but I just practiced the shit out of it and got it. It didn't take too long. My band Deepfield was predominantly a heavy rock band, so this stuff is right in my wheelhouse. Like I said, it's the same tuning. And once Aaron got on the phone with me and started showing me, and I think I don't want to speak for him, but I think he told me early in the process of them writing their stuff, they added these more lush, embellished chords to not sound like every hard rock band out there. And once I learned them, and he would tell me this is sort of the blueprint for Breaking Ben songs, I realized that's where the sound is. And when those guys were all over the radio and massive, their shit didn't sound like anybody else's, in my opinion. That's what drew me to them early.
I showed him the secret chords.
Secret sauce.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there is you know, kind of running through the songs with Baxter, it hit me as well that there was like definitely like this certain set of chords that we used, and there really is a secret to it. And once you see the it kind of unlocks all the songs, you're like, okay, now I see and there's certain things that apply to a lot of the songs. And yeah, we weren't for the guitar players out there, we weren't a basic power chord band. They were all like a little bit trickier than that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what gave it its sound.
It's funny you say that, because before Aaron had the conversation with me, I was learning the songs off of YouTube, like fans, and I would go in there. I'm like, shit's pretty easy. And then I'd show it to Aaron. He's like, nah, that's not how you play it.
Yeah, I've never done like, until recently, I've never, I mean, I probably should, if I was smart, and put up on YouTube, like, this is how you play all these songs. I'd probably
get some views.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's cooler if it's kind of a secret. I don't know. I never felt the need. Just recently I started showing people stuff, but I've seen people play the songs and they're almost always not correct. But I don't really give a fuck to like correct them.
Yeah.
Until recently.
That wouldn't go well, right?
On that, but I think it's cooler if it's a little bit, there's a mystique to it. Like,
mystery. Yeah.
You'll never see, not comparing myself to Jimmy Page, but you're never going to see Jimmy Page tell you how to play a fucking Zepp song. It's never going to happen. So, but everybody on the internet will claim that they're an expert and be like, this is exactly how you play it. And it's like, yeah, it's close. A friend of mine, the guy from Rush, Alex Lifeson, is a friend of mine, and the same thing. Like he's like, I've seen the tabs and I've seen people play the songs and they're like, it's not quite right. And he never says otherwise. And it's part of the mystique and charm to it. Is like, I mean, obviously in the modern era, you can see videos of them playing it live and you can kind of zoom in, but before that, it was all kind of a mystery, and it's part of the fun.
Mystique is long dead in the music biz. Like, they want you got to post your lunch and dinner on Instagram. You got to let everybody know what type of toilet paper you use. And it's just like, there's nothing cool about rock anymore.
So I was literally having a conversation today about, just things in general. It was just specifically radio DJs. How back in the day when you do live remotes, people would flock to live remotes because they wanted to see their favorite DJ that they rode to work with in person, because radio is obviously a it's not a visual thing. And that applies to a lot of different things. Like, and I went on to say, like, even bands, like, you didn't know what Steven Tyler was doing. So you went to see them because that was the only chance you could, see them outside of music videos on MTV and shit like that. But like, there was this mystique, there was this mystery, there was like, we got to go see them live because, I can't see the live performance on YouTube because it didn't exist. It's crazy. And I think that, as much as the internet has exposed musicians and new artists to more people, it just kind of hurts the going out to see them live and going out, like, having that need and desire to go out.
I love that some artists are so successful that they have the balls to say no cell phones at a concert, even if it's like a comedy thing. Like, to me, my favorite bands, I don't want to ever watch YouTube phone videos of them playing a song live. It's not fair to the band. It's like, you're ruining that moment that you can only feel in that room when you feel that, the air being pushed by half stacks on stage,
Yeah.
Let's
So
do that March 7th. No phones.
that's right. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, be in the moment. You know, I mean, how many people actually watch those videos that they take? They probably
Yeah,
post them online. That's it. It's
I've seen, who did I see recently? Tom Segura, and you
mhm.
had to put your phone in a bag.
Well, comedy I get. I get comedy because like once you hear a joke and know the punchline,
Right.
it's over. Like you can't like
Well, they're
you
also saving it for their Netflix special. Like
right,
they do it in reverse. Musicians like make the album and it comes out and
right.
then they tour. So it's already, the legalities of it and stuff are already kind of taken care of usually before they play it live. The comedy seems to be the opposite. Like they play it live and then they package it and legalities and stuff are taken care of later. I don't know. It's kind of in reverse.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned Three Doors Down, and it was sad to see
Yeah.
Brad go. And I think Aaron, I think I saw a picture that you posted,
Yeah.
and you were either on tour with them, and or
Yeah, we knew. Yeah, I knew all those guys.
terrible.
Yeah, he was a sweetheart. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess he got sick about a year ago, and then it was
Yeah.
kind of downhill from there. It sucks. And
Yeah.
young guy, younger than me.
Yeah.
Um,
Super young.
yeah, but they, I, I think they were our first major tour. I think
Really?
so, if I remember correctly. So that was on our first album, first tour, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but
That was
um,
the same around the same timeline too, right?
it would have been
2000.
2002, I believe.
I think their first
Uh,
record was like
yeah,
2000. Yeah. But
but they were already bigger.
yeah.
They were already huge, to be honest with you. That song
Mhm.
Kryptonite was like a smash hit.
Yeah.
Um, but they were really cool to us and didn't have to be. I mean, we've toured with other bands that were dicks to us. They weren't. And they're fun too. Like those guys threw down and partied, lots of liquor flowing. And they're like good old Southern boys, kind of like my man Baxter here. But fun to be around and um, treated us right. Like, we got sound checks and shit, the good stuff. And,
Yeah.
um, I remember too, still crazy that they, everyone in the band had their own tour bus, which is nuts.
To think
Even
about
at,
now.
yeah, so two bands we tour with had that set of Corn and Three Doors Down. Every guy in the band had his own tour bus, which is a complete waste of fucking money. It's just like burning money. But hey, I guess if you can do it, do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's silly actually, but I don't think it in their case. I don't think it's because they like all hated each other. I just think they were like
They could.
had wild success and they were young guys and they're like, let's do it up, man. Let's enjoy the moment for what it is. So yeah, they all had their own bus and we'd like go to like have a drink at like each dude's bus and it was like they all it was fun.
Like adult trick or treating.
Yeah. Yeah, it was sad to hear about that. I haven't
Yeah.
spoken to the guy in a while, but I like their music too. They have a lot of good songs. They have like perfect like rock radio
Yeah.
kind of songs. They're just pleasant to the ear,
Hmm.
you know. So
So what can people expect on March 7th? Again, it's a sold fortunately and unfortunately
yeah,
for anyone who wants to go and didn't get tickets yet, so it's sold out. I will
you're
have
giving
tickets
away
on
some
Fuzz.
tickets, right?
Yes, I will have
Eric?
tickets to give away on Fuzz next week. But yeah, what can people expect? I mean, what are people in store for?
Uh, certainly if you're a fan of the first two records, we're gonna play those and a couple little surprises in there. Um, it's gonna be, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be packed. So this is gonna be like an old style club show where it was hot and sweaty and
Yeah, staircase days and
yeah, you're gonna get your hands dirty. But
touching some butts by accident.
I mean it's gonna be like kind of old school, like a hot, sweaty, sold out show. It's gonna be loud, I'm sure.
And it's at the Front Street Station. Front
Yeah.
Street Station. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Why that venue?
Well, like I said, the promoter was from down in that area, and then Ben, Jeremy, and we all grew up in this little town called Selinsgrove, and the Front Street Station is one of two clubs down there, if that. So there's not a lot of choices. So it's partly down there because of where we grew up, and and then it's partly down there because that's where this promoter works out of. So there wasn't a lot of choices. Hell, there's not even a lot of choices up here in northeastern PA anymore either.
No, not anymore.
So yeah, that's the venue. We also wanted to like not overshoot this, like, hey, oh yeah, we're gonna play this massive place and then have it be crickets. So we wanted to I'd rather play a sold out show in a smaller venue than like half empty, bigger. We didn't want to like shoot this. So yeah.
Aaron, should we tell him that one of the surprises is we're working on it, but we're trying to do a Kid Rock Bad Bunny like mashup, and with subtitles. So
right, of course.
I told you not to say anything.
Sorry.
My 5 listeners are gonna know now, and they probably don't have tickets to the show. We're in trouble.
Ball would he ball to bang bunny or something like that.
The only thing great that came out of all that was Kid Rock being referred to by someone as Jesus of Bethlehem. I thought that was unbelievable.
Well, and I don't want to get too far in the weeds here. And it's you bring this stuff up and people automatically go political.
Never. I can't afford to alienate half my fan base. Yeah. Aaron might be able to, but I can't do that.
But they RFK and Kid Rock released that video just the other day. And it's fine, whatever. Like I'm not gonna get into it. But the only question I have about that was, who is doing a cold plunge and sauna with jeans?
That guy.
That old man's ripped too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's things for that.
He was, by the way, he was one of the 4 that auditioned for this.
His voice didn't quite fit, right?
Yeah.
That guy's voice is nuts.
Yeah.
I think he's married to Larry David's actress wife, right?
He is, yeah.
Sarah Hines.
She was just on Rogan the other day. I didn't know that until then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a crazy world we live in. Gotta watch what you say.
Crazier by the day, it seems. So it seems.
So let's say this thing, obviously it's going to do well. It's sold out once again. If you didn't get tickets, sorry. Make sure you're listening to Fuzz 96.1 next week. I mean, is this just kind of like, we're going to do this to have fun and that's it? Or is there like, hey, if this goes well, like maybe we'll do a couple more?
Like I said, it was built from the ground up. It really was designed to be a one-off. It's not like a marketing ploy, like, all these bands do the farewell,
right?
It's another farewell.
Kisses
and that's just like marketing bullshit.
I can tell you, we've had some offers to do.
More shows. So it wasn't that, and we've had offers, and we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I myself don't have tickets, so I'm not going to steal them from the listeners. I could do that. Scummy John could do that, but I would never. But I slept on getting tickets fast enough, and I will not be there.
Oh man,
which is a big bummer.
Yeah.
Hopefully, someone takes some shaky cell phone videos. So yeah, don't ban the phones.
It's just
people like.
I would say you can film for yourself. I would ask that you just don't post it on YouTube. But if you love live art, don't do it.
All right.
That sounds so old manish to say that.
we're old men. We're like we. It's just a different world. I'm like I always say I'm like 5 years. It's a 5 year window. Like if I was 5 years younger, I would probably be a little more successful as a podcaster solely because I would be like on like in the feeds all the time with my stupid face like in your face, and it's not for me. It's not something I want to do. But people who are 5 years younger than me, they have no problem. Like 5 years younger and beyond is they'll do selfies and videos till you block them because you can't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
Duck face. Yeah. It's like, I see people like friends of mine, even my age, posting so much on Instagram. It's like, do you love yourself that much? Because I mean, I'm just not that interesting. I can't post daily on Instagram
No.
because I don't think anybody would care.
If it well, it feels fake. It is that's my biggest thing too. Is it just like I'm not gonna post something just to post it. I just that's
Right.
just not who I am. Like, and I'll get caught. I'll be scrolling and like someone will post something and like I know this person, right? And I know their thoughts on something, but they'll pose a question just to get a reaction out of people because it gets people commenting and it gets put in the algorithm and it gets fed to more people. And it's like, God damn, I won't even comment on their stuff because I don't want to like feed into it. Although I
I
hope
will
that
say, I will say this to whoever might listen to this. This is going to sound old manish, but this AI shit is gonna fuck some shit up in the next 5 years.
I was going to ask you about that, and maybe we can wrap things up after this. I don't want to keep it too long. When we were talking about, and I kind of wanted to dovetail into this, we were talking about, growing up, record stores, records, all that kind of stuff, and, into the digital age. Now we're talking about AI, and that's crazy. And that's, as I said before, like, are you frustrated with how things are now as an art form, right? There's artists who create. Now there's fucking computers doing it. Like
Oh
that's got
yeah.
to be fucking
Not
so.
better. Worse, not better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as a songwriter and a very prolific songwriter at that, it's insulting just to, someone else can just press a button and you know, just go right to the finish line. Um,
and get
yeah,
and get it listens on Spotify. Like
yeah,
the AI bands they have listeners and followers, and like that's crazy to me.
yeah. I wish I could like AI myself into being like a pro golfer or something. Like my Baxter there is a great golfer, but
Oof.
like it's just, like it's interesting that the thing that I do, you can just fake it now, right? And you really actually, with everything you can do with recording software, you don't have to be that great of a musician anymore either. Then you can just roll a lot of tape live. Like it really, again, I came from a different era where everybody was just like those old Breaking Ben records. Part of the beauty of it when I hear it is like it's us playing. It's not all fucking tampered with. It's like Jeremy really played the drums like that. Trust me, I was in the rehearsal space when we were writing and I performed with him every night. He really plays the drums like that. Like Ben really sings like that. Like that's part of the charm of it is we came from a different era where you had to be able to perform that stuff. You couldn't touch it up. Um, was the stuff mixed and touched up a little bit? Yeah, but it wasn't edited all crazy and comped and tweaked and um, on those records, especially like Ben's voice wasn't like auto-tuned or anything. It's just it is what it is. But I love that. There's such a beauty to it, but that's missing from a lot of music now.
I feel like
That's a
those
great
first.
point. Well, I would say that's a great point with AI because I'll probably piss some people off saying this, but I think modern pop and country music is so fucking formulaic and bad. And it's the same three, four chords. It's the same. You have to have whiskey in the lyrics apparently now to keep your record deal. I don't know, but it's making it so easy. Music's so bad that it's making it so easy for AI to just put something out and people think it's real because I mean, that definitely sounds like old man screaming at clouds, but I mean, music's just not as cool as it was when Breaking Ben was in the studio, crafting that out, blood and sweat. It's not there anymore. The realness of it.
Yeah, when I was talking to Crispin from the Veer Union, he was saying how we talked about AI too, and he was just saying like he thinks that eventually it will come around to a point where it's like those guys who are genuine, who portray that kind of attitude and are real, will kind of win in the end. Because those AI bands can't perform,
Right.
right? But this generation coming up, like, do they care? Would they rather go to a festival and watch this like a giant video screen of a fake band? Maybe. I don't know. I could see that happening now that I say it out loud.
Yeah. I think American Idol and stuff like that has a lot to do with it too. It's like, do you think Neil Young or Tom Petty or Bob Dylan would have made it past round one of
Oh,
The
man.
Voice? Absolutely not.
No.
But, here we are.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
No.
I saw an interview with probably my favorite singer, probably of all time, is Phil Collins. I saw an interview with him, and he was
I thought he
like,
was going to say me. Sorry, second
I'll edit.
second
I'll
favorite
learn how to
singer.
edit. And I'm going to edit him saying
"Well,
Baxter Teal.
my favorite global superstar guy that
There you go.
is what my two favorite singers actually are while we're on the topic, Brian Adams and Phil Collins. Those are like my guys. But anyways, I saw an interview with him, and he's like, I sold like 200 million records, and in the modern era, I probably wouldn't even get signed. I don't look right. I'm
Mhm.
short, pudgy, bald, and he's like, I dress like a math teacher. He's like, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't even get a record deal, but I sold back when it was just all about the music and people didn't listen with their eyes. He's like one of the most successful recording artists of all time. It's funny how that works. And he's probably right. He probably wouldn't get a deal.
Yeah.
He
Genesis was
doesn't.
one of my first favorite bands when I was very young. We can't dance, or I can't dance rather.
That was the later shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
good cut.
that was the best. But well, guys, I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, man.
I know everyone's excited for the show on March 7th, the Front Street Station in Northumberland. Unfortunately, if you're listening to this or watching this, it is sold out.
And the
But
Small Town Titans are going to open
oh,
up.
that's right. They're a great
Uh,
band too.
they have a little bit of a fan base too, so it's a nice little package we got going
Are they
on.
from that area too?
They're
Kind of,
from
sort of, or
York,
York? York, that's right.
I believe. I believe.
Yeah, great opener. It's gonna be a great show. I mean, those first two records too, like they were uh going back to what Baxter was saying, like they were just raw. They were raw, they were real, like great albums. So best of luck with the show. Sad I won't be there. Um,
Just
but
pocket those giveaways for yourself.
Give me the number and I'll call and call and call and I'll just give you the ticket when I win
we got yeah. So the way you're gonna win
It's an
tickets.
inside job here.
it.
So calling radio stations isn't like it's still a thing, but it's not as big of a thing anymore. We are going to give them away. Going on, you can go to fuzz961.com or you can use our free mobile app. You just download the app, you open it up, and it's going to prompt you right when you open it with the ability to enter to win tickets. And then we'll give them away randomly. Maybe they randomly go to Baxter Teal. I don't know. But I really do appreciate your time, Aaron. Thank you so much for always, I consider you supporting me by always giving me your time. And Baxter, like I said, I saved that song. It was probably months ago, and it's kind of just cool to be like, oh wow, like I've been listening to this guy, I had no idea, and now I'm
I
talking to him.
can
So
I can tell you when I wrote that song and we got it the final mix back, I'm like, this could be a hit, and it was not ever.
no,
So
should have
no,
been.
go listen to it. Fall Apart. It's a great song.
It is a great song.
Very proud of it. Yep.
Yeah, it should have been a hit. I have a good ear for these things. I do, but so I think. I can't play for shit. I can't play at all, but I can listen well.
I like your Slimer in the back there.
Oh yeah, that's a popcorn bucket when the Ghostbusters came out.
Slimer, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't see the movie with my son. He was still too young. We actually just went to Cinemark to buy the popcorn bucket.
Nice. Which was probably $40.
Oh yeah, it may not have been that much, but it was probably 25, 30. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like,
Nice.
I didn't even buy it for him, really. I bought it for myself. I mean, I grew up with the original OG Ghostbusters and a
Oh yeah.
huge fan. Yeah. So, but thank you both for your time. Really appreciate it.
All right, guys.
I have no doubt the show will be awesome. So I hope you do it again at some point. If not, I understand that too, but it's going to be awesome. And I'm looking forward to hearing what people think about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Yep.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
See ya.